And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. For today's podcast episode, I actually am going to be doing a little movie news segment. With me, I have my good friend Charlie and my friend Rick with me. Say hello to everybody.
What's up,
Hello.
guys?
And we have a little bit of movie news that we're going to actually break out and everything. We have some DC movie news with Michael Keaton. Then we also have some Amelia Clark joining the cast of Secret Invasions. We have a lot of stuff to be talking about within an hour. So I hope that you guys stay with us within the hour and everything, and you guys watch and enjoy the show. So for our first segment and everything, what do we have, Charlie?
Well, for any of you Fury Road fans, you might have known about a character called Furiosa. Well, they're making a prequel movie, and that actually is going to be preparing for a June production start in Australia. So this was a recent conference in New South Wales, Australia. George Miller officially announced production plans for the Warner Brothers' upcoming Fury Road spinoff, Furiosa. Start shooting in Australia this upcoming summer in June. And according to that, this project will become the biggest film ever to be made in Australia, with the prequel to receive financial incentives from federal and state government in order to secure its production in the country. Moore also confirmed that they had already built cars and prepared stunts for key action sequences that will be filming this year. And then I'm trying to see the cast. They said that they described this as a standalone story that will dive into the origins of the character previously portrayed by Charlize Theron before crossing paths with the feminist anti-hero of the Mothership franchise. The film will be led by Golden Globe winner Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, and Yahya Abdul-Mateen, from the Watchmen TV series, and he was also known as Black Mantra in Aquaman.
All right. So here's my thoughts and everything. I loved her character in Mad Max Fury Road. I was curious about how she winded up in that position that she was in and everything when she's trying to help these other brides to escape the desert and things like that. So I was wondering how her origin story began and about how she got into that predicament and everything too. Was she born there? Was she a native over there? What was the deal behind her story? So now we actually have a background story into her story, and I can't wait to see that and see it unfold. I'm not sure if is Charlie, and of course Charlize Theron is going to be in it and everything still. So that she isn't.
Not. Okay. This is the prequel before her character in the movie. Okay. I don't believe she's in this one.
Okay, because I was thinking that it was going to be the origin story of her character, which made me think that she would actually be in it. But then again, we don't know how young that they're going to probably put her in. Her character is going to be either. So that's also another key element, though, too.
I think she's on the IMDb billing cast list for it, Shorty. So I think she's going to be in it. But I know Tom Hardy isn't supposed to be in it.
No.
But he is signed on for at least one more Mad Max movie by contract, though, if I remember correctly. So, don't get your hopes low for not seeing Tom Hardy again, because he's definitely going to be Mad Max again sometime in the future, at least.
Exactly, because that's what they do. They sign these actors on just in case they decide that they're going to do another Mad Max movie or whatever, and that's just like a little insurance, like saying, okay, we don't have anything in the works yet for Mad Max, but we're going to go ahead and just put you on there just in case. You're going to sign a 2-movie deal just in case we decide to have you on there. So that's actually something that the studios decided to do. But I'm hoping that we see Mad Max again. But to have a Charlize Theron's character back in this movie and everything makes me excited, because now you have a female-led role and everything with Charlize Theron, which makes me even happier because I like her as an actress. It'll be just interesting to see how much of a bigger world than what Mad Max is, because we already know the world of Mad Max is huge, but now we actually get to dive into some of the other places and everything else that Mad Max might have not been there or anything like that, and our imaginations can actually expand a lot more. It's kind of like the Star Wars universe, if you think about it. Like, we have all these galaxies and stuff like that, but we always wind up traveling the same planet over and over again, which is why but all up until when we got Mandalorian. But it just goes to show you how big this universe actually is. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we actually see some other areas in the desert. But what about you guys?
to mention that I just got found an article that says she's not in this.
Okay.
This was just recently, and that was yesterday on the 20th. Somebody reported this back in May. George, I think whatever this article was, I think George Miller revealed that the upcoming prequel to the 2000, they're returning the role. Revealed that the upcoming prequel won't find Charlize Theron return for the role, using CGI to de-age an actor for a film that tells the character back. This isn't the way he wants to go. He told the New York Times. Miller said he plans to seek a young new actor to step in the role that Theron made. For the role. That means Theron herself will not be back for the prequel. And thanks to the interview with the Hollywood Reporter, now we know she's kind of heartbroken over it. Getting emotionally invested in Miller's vision or take was easy, said Theron, and that makes watching the prequel move forward without her a tough one to swallow. She said, "Yeah, it's a little heartbreaking for sure. I really love the character, and I'm so grateful that I had this small part in creating her. She will forever be someone I think of and reflect on fondly." Theron explained, "Now, obviously, I wanted to see the story continue, and if he feels like he has to go about it in that way, then I trust him in that manner. We get so hung up on the smaller details that we forget that. So unfortunately, she's not." And I think, like I said, I think if they're going the old route, the prequel route, I think it would make sense to not have her in it. Because we don't know how young, because they're getting Anya Taylor Joy. She's pretty young, so I think they're going
like teenager.
I think so.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I just feel like because I heard about a while ago that I don't think she was going to be in it. Like there's talks that she was, then it wasn't. I guess that they were trying to do the de-aging thing. I don't think that was going to be the way to go.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money that if you don't have to spend, you don't need to.
And that's coming out next June 2023.
I mean, I love Mad Max, and I love Mad Max Fury Road. Was awesome. It's like one of the few movies that I saw in theaters more than once. So I'm super psyched just for anything Mad Max new. I love the whole Mad Max world of just insane friggin' car chases and explosions is just awesome.
The video game was great, though. I mean, I had I played the video
underrated game.
But yeah, I definitely love the Mad Max series and stuff like that. It just sucks that she's not going to be in it, but we can also understand with the budget and stuff like that too. If it's not needed to have the de-aging stuff in it or whatever, then there's no reason to have it.
And maybe the story doesn't need that person in it too. That's the other thing too. We're getting Hemsworth in this, so I'm intrigued to see what his role is. But like I said, I don't think, like I said, maybe the story wasn't geared towards her adult version. Maybe in this, whatever they do in the future stuff, maybe, but I guess for this story, maybe not.
Okay, but I'm still intrigued. I still want to know how her character got there and what she was doing to survive there and how she came up. So that would be interesting to see.
Definitely.
So what else we have?
All right, the next set of news is about TV shows coming back in late 2021 and their hit shows from the next Netflix CEO confirms late 2021 returns for Cobra Kai, You, and The Witcher. During a recent investor video, CEO Ted Sarandos has confirmed that 3 of their biggest series, along 2 of their high-profile movies, are all set to return in the fourth quarter of this year. That includes the highly anticipated new seasons of the Henry Cavill-led drama The Witcher, the Cobra Kai, and the psychological thriller You. Both productions of The Witcher Season 2 and UC3 were affected by the pandemic last year. That's why the original release dates were ultimately delayed. And then Netflix upcoming action films such as Escape Red Notice, starring Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot, and Chris Hemsworth, Escape from Spiderhead, are also expected to make their debuts later this year. Red Notice was set for last year's release date, but was delayed due to the pandemic. Let me see what else. I didn't know about those 2 movies, which that's pretty cool. So yeah, So we're getting some big stuff in late 2021. So yeah.
I'm excited. As everybody knows, I'm a huge Cobra Kai fan, but I'm always interested in seeing more stuff with Cobra Kai and stuff like that, especially the way that the second season ended. Well, third season ended, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
I haven't actually watched Cobra Kai, but I do love The Witcher. I'm a big fan of The Witcher. I love the video
Which is
games.
so good.
I love the games, and I feel like they did a great job with the Netflix series. I was very hesitant because I was like, "Don't mess this up." It's so there's such like a way you have to present it, and I feel like they did a really good job with it. And I'm just super excited to see how it continues. You was awesome.
Yep.
And like it's so effed up, but so good, and so I'm excited for that. Like I haven't seen Cobra Kai, but I've heard really good things about it, so I might watch that soon.
Cobra Kai is really fun to watch, and also too, I love The Witcher as well. I mean, I thought it was a perfect adaptation of a video game, and as well as a book series though too, because it definitely jumps around a lot, but it's also once you wind up finding out why it's jumping around and how you got there towards the end. The journey made it that much more fun for me to watch.
And Henry's awesome as Geralt, man.
Yes.
Yeah, so good. I was not expecting that.
I mean, and he's a man of little words. All he says, he grunts, says the F, says fuck. Stuff happens, and then he fights. I mean, it's like that. I mean, I've known the video games. I own the PC one. I just haven't had time to play into it, but I know that it's coming to the PS5 at some point, or the next gen consoles. So I'll probably end up getting it for the next gen just to play it. But I love the show. I thought the show was great. Like how the show came into full circle, like the how you had to figure out. Okay, so it was really confusing. It's like present day and then past, and then how it got to the present. The musical score was fantastic in it. Like the sequence at the second to last episode when Geralt gets out of the prison, and the music in the background where when they're storming, like when the enemies are storming the castle, and then Geralt's getting out of there, and you're hearing the music in the background. It's like, oh, this show's so badass. It's so awesome, and I want to know. I want to watch more. Like Yennefer, it was like that stuff was just so cool, and I'm like, yep. I like that one so much better than Game of Thrones.
The games are great, man. Like I remember I got The Witcher 3. Hearing it was a very long game, and I was like, it can't be that crazy. I'm gonna play it during the summer, and I'll just play that game during the summer, and I'll beat it in like a month because it's the summer, and I'm a teacher, so I have time. And it took me the entire summer to beat that game, and I was like, "Oh my god, this game is so long, but it's so good. I can't put it down."
Awesome. I can't wait. I gotta play. I got maybe a couple minutes in it. I think they said this one's supposed to probably do some storylines from the third game. I think I'm not sure, and I believe it's going to be like linear story. Like I don't think there's going to be any stuff in the past that I can think of, but. Man, I'm pumped. After season 1, I finished actually watching season 1 last year. When December, since I worked, I didn't have time. But with the pandemic, I'm not working. I'm working from home, so I'm able to watch stuff, and I was able to binge that whole show during this that. And that show was awesome. I'm excited for the sequel, and I'm also excited for the 2 movies that are coming out late this year. Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot. That's
a great cast.
It is. It was originally a Universal movie, and I think Universal, I think it was like $200 million, or it was a really high priced thing. Then I think then Universal couldn't maybe afford it, so then that's why Netflix bought it for $2,000, and I think they have the description of the movie Red Notice. So essentially, The Rock is the guy that's so. Red Notice is described as a globe-trotting action comedy heist thriller designed as a three-hander between Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds. In the film, Johnson plays an Interpol agent tasked with capturing the most wanted art thief in the world. Red Notice refers to the highest and most serious of Interpol notices. There are 8. And concerns the arrest of wanted criminals. Meanwhile, Gadot is to portray the role of the world's greatest art thief, with Ryan Reynolds playing the world's greatest con man. It's so
That's-
fitting for
I am so
I can see
down
it.
for that.
It's so fitting, and then I think one of the trailer, like brief snippets, I think they showed when Netflix announced 70 movies are coming out this year from them.
Right.
One of them, Ryan Reynolds punches him in the face, and he goes, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I meant to punch him in the throat."
But yeah, I can see it. I can totally see that working. You know, Ryan Reynolds as the con man definitely fits the bill for him. What's going to be interesting for me is seeing how Gal Gadot plays off of the art dealer that steals things. That's going to
He's
be
the art thief.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's going to be the interesting factor for me about how she plays into it. To be honest with you. Yeah.
We didn't give a release date, but that's coming out this year.
Okay.
So I figured it would, and then I'm also intrigued on the other Chris Hemsworth movie, Escape from Spiderhead. It's like kind of like a sci-fi-ish kind of movie. So, hey, I mean, the last Chris Hemsworth movie we got last year was badass. Extraction. Like, I mean, that was a great movie. And if anybody hasn't seen that movie, watch it. Like, it's so good. The action's intense. Like, it's Chris Hemsworth channeling his inner
John Wick.
Yeah,
the stunt work was really good. The camera angles were really good with it, where you actually got to see everything in the action sequences and stuff like that. So that's something that I really admired from it. Also, too, you know, Chris Hemsworth is a good actor if he's in the right movies, and for him with Extraction was really good. They're even talking about making a sequel for it.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm very excited about. Have you seen Extraction or anything like that, Rick?
Oh, no, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good. It's intense. Like, I mean, it's brutal. Like, some of the fight sequences are brutal. Like, it's definitely emphasizing the hard R, and I think it was produced by the Russo brothers.
I gotta wait for Will to fall asleep to watch that one.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it's some great action sequences in it. It's a great action movie.
I do want to piggyback off of Rick for a minute with with the show You and everything. I love that show. Like, I actually did on the audio podcast, I did a Dexter versus Joe thing on who would win and compare the two. I have Dexter at killing Joe.
So I can see that, because Dexter's makes it, I want to say, like a business pretty much out of actually killing people, where Joe is more of this stalker type. So like Joe would make a really good detective if he wasn't so fucked in the head. Because he's really good at, like, you know, the whole of like finding out everything there is to know about someone and using that to his advantage in the most twisted ways without anyone ever catching on to him. But yeah, that I would watch that. Dexter versus Joe, definitely. That'd be an intense. Although that'd be the long game. Those they'd be It's like hiring two private eyes to follow each other.
That'd be awesome though to see though, right? But
oh, definitely.
I got Dexter winning easily. I think Dexter, my sister was a fan of that show. I never watched it, and it didn't look appealing to me. I think Dexter would get him. Like I think by the end of one season, he'd get him.
To be honest with you, Joe is more clumsy when it comes down to killing people. Like he won't even mean to kill you or anything like that. Dexter has everything planned out. Mm-hmm. And then also too, Joe uses other people's cell phones and stuff like that. Dexter wouldn't even be talking to anybody. He would be getting rid of the cell phone with the person being buried with it and everything.
And Dexter he worked in the police department too.
Right.
So Dexter knows the ins and outs of the police department, so he knows. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Right. But yeah, I definitely loved how you wrapped up for that second season that we got.
You had it so good, man. You had you didn't have to go the crazy route, and then that last, I don't want to spoil anything, but in that last 5 minutes, you're going crazy route. Like, why? Yep. Why, man? Life's just working out for you so good. What are you doing?
And now here you are having that itch again to want to be stupid. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be off the chain. I'm gonna tell you that. So what else do we have as far as movie stories go?
They just that the Martin Scorsese's long-awaited Killers of the Flower Moon enters production. They said the adaptation is finally getting underway as the Oklahoma Film Plus Music Office and Apple Original Films has announced that the principal photography is officially underway in Oklahoma. So this is based on the David Grain's acclaimed 2017 bestseller nonfiction crime novel. The plot is set in 1920s Oklahoma and explores the serial murders of members of the oil wealthy Osage Nation, a strain of brutal crimes that would later be known as Reign of Terror. The ensemble roster for the film is led by Emmy nominee Jesse Plemons and Oscar winners Leonardo DiCaprio and De Niro, and the 7th and 10th respective collaborations with the Oscar-winning filmmaker. Cast includes Lily Gladstone, Tantoon Cardinal, Cara Jade Myers, Janae Collins, Julian Dion, William Bew, Bello, or Lewis. Something I can't pronounce these names. So essentially, you get Leo working back with Scorsese. Same with De Niro. I'm in. It's Leo. His performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was just top notch. Like,
it was.
If you have not seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, stop what you're doing and watch it. It's probably one of the best Tarantino movies out there. The only movie I wanted to see twice in theaters in 2019, and I saw it twice in theaters. It's the one movie that my dad wanted to see twice in theaters, and we saw it twice in theaters. It was just so good. Like Tarantino knows what he's doing in terms of movies, and it was a great history of back in that time period, which I knew some stuff of it, but he did a great job. And the chemistry between him, like Brad Pitt and Leo, if those two guys were not in that movie would not be good.
No.
Chemistry between Leo and Brad Pitt, million times better than the Notebook chemistry between Rachel McAdams and Gosling, whatever. Like the two of them played off each other well. That's why I was so happy Brad Pitt won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, because he was so good in that movie. Again, if you're not seen it, watch it.
Me and John talked about it. We're both big Tarantino fans. I think we had a whole podcast where we just went on a huge Tarantino chat forever about it. And
yeah, we did. For about a good hour and a half when we had other top 10 movies to talk about.
Man, so good. Like that movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, was so good. And one of the things I really like about it, as being, a history teacher, is it takes a historical event and changes it to be in the Tarantino universe. And so this whole movie, I don't want to give anything away, but I'm expecting one thing and waiting for that to happen, and it just flips everything on his head. I was like, yes, I'm so.
I was happy on that too. I knew when they did the tonal switch, when Kurt Russell started narrating, going over the detailed exact moments of what's going on, like, oh no, we're getting to it. So I was tensing up in the theater, watching it for the first time, tensing up. I'm like, how are they going to play this? How are they going to play this? Because I didn't want to see what I expected, to be honest. And I was really hoping that. And then, Tarantino did it with Glorious Bastards. He did that in the best way possible. I think in next month, John, or whenever, we're going to be doing a director focus. And each one, I think John and my buddy Sean, we all picked 3 different directors. I picked Tarantino. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood will be one of the movies we're going to do the review on, because we have to. It's fantastic Tarantino. It's not typical Tarantino, at least until the end. But the story, the dialogue, it just you just had to have those certain actors in it for Tarantino. Again, if Brad Pitt and Leo were not in that movie, it's not going to be good, because the two of them know Tarantino, and that's why. But anyway, back to this one. I don't know much of it. I just know Leo's in it, and I'll probably see it.
Yeah, I'm sold on De Niro. Oh, I'm gonna let Rick go first, and I've been talking for the last couple of stories. So go on ahead. I'll let you go on ahead and do this one.
It's Martin Scorsese's doing it, right? So
yes.
That name right there is just, it's probably going to be really good. And then you name those actors, and it's those actors aren't going to sign up for a movie they also have like talked to him and think it's going to be good and stuff. So I don't know anything about the story at all of what it's based on, but like I'd probably go see it. I don't get to go to the movies that much anymore, but I got a Redbox right down the street, so
That's what I use. I use Redbox all the time. Matter of fact, I'm a awards program person that gets perks from them. But yeah, De Niro, Martin Scorsese, and Leonardo DiCaprio sign me up. I don't care if it's just Martin Scorsese just directing Leonardo DiCaprio on a toilet and Robert De Niro's being his grumpy grandfather. I would go on ahead and I would watch that movie because I'm that much of a hardcore Martin Scorsese fan. I am. But I also want to point out, though, too, that, I love what Leonardo DiCaprio has done as an actor. At first, I was like, Romeo and Juliet. He's not, and he actually stepped up once he did The Departed. Once he did The Departed for me, that's what turned everything around for me. Don't get me wrong. I love what's eating Gilbert Grape and everything else. But when he did The Departed, that's what turned it around for me, where I was like, okay, this guy is going places. And that's when I was on the Leonardo DiCaprio train. And then, of course, when he did the Tarantino film for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I love the flamethrower scene. That's actually one of my favorite scenes in Once Upon a... Hey, I didn't say when it was going to show up. I just said I love the scene.
That's practically a spoiler, so I would put that right there. Like, you don't
the movie's been out 3 years.
It is but still, not many people know about it. But still, I would not mention that because, like, to seeing that for the first time was awesome. So don't go ruin it, John. But no, there's other movies that Leo was great in before.
Right.
Once Upon a Time, he was great in Django. Like minor role in Django, he was fantastic in Django. When we discussed our best movies 2012, that's my favorite movie of 2012. That ad-lib scene where he cut his hand on the skull, that was all ad-lib. That was like the camera's like, just keep rolling. Like, I mean, he was great in that. He was fantastic in Inception. Like Inception he was awesome in that movie with Christopher Nolan. Great in that. And then The Departed, he was great in that. Wolf of Wall Street, he was great in that.
I will go to the grave saying that Leo deserved the Oscar for Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
Robbed. I will go to my grave saying that he deserved the Oscar.
Until Matthew McConaughey beat his chest and stole it from him.
The Sarah Palsy stage should have won him the Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest with you.
But no, but this Martin Scorsese, stay away from kid movies. It's not your forte. Just stay away from them.
So, what else do we have?
Now we're into Marvel territory. So, earlier this week, we got they're ramping up the casting for the Secret Invasion series for Disney Plus. And this has been so far the common theme in our podcast. I keep mentioning Skrulls. That's that because they're taking over now. Like they came in, from Captain Marvel, now Spider-Man, in Far From Home. Skrulls written. I think it was Far From Home. Yeah. Far From Home. They showing up in that, and now. Yeah, and Fury being up in space, working with the Skrulls. Yeah. Skrulls are the territory, so now we're getting into the Secret Invasion, and that's why I think Skrulls showed up in WandaVision, and now they're going to show up soon. So anyway, the Secret Invasion, they just casted. They're in talks with Olivia Colman from The Crown. She's potentially joining the MCU for the Secret Invasion series. So they essentially the first published June 2008, spanning 8 issues, penned by these guys. Crossover series revealed a subversive long-term invasion of the Earth by the Skrulls, a group of alien shapeshifters who have secretly replaced many superheroes in Marvel Universe with imposters over a period of years prior to the over-invasion. So the series, which was first announced in September and confirmed to be an adaptation of the storyline in December, will see Sam Jackson back as Nick Fury. Ben Mendelsohn as the pseudo-leader of the Skrulls, Talos, reprising from Captain Marvel and Spider-Man Far From Home's post-credit scene, and in which he was revealed to be impersonating Fury throughout the whole film. So this is just one of the various shows that we're getting. No idea who she's playing, but she's in talks to join, and another person that they have in talks to join is Daenerys herself. Emilia Clarke is boarding the MCU series as well. Her part is also being kept under wraps, and this will not be her first big franchise beside Thrones. She was also in Solo, a Star Wars story, and then she played a Sarah Connor in the 2015 Misfire Terminator Genesis. Yep, Misfire is definitely not a term what I would call that. Her role, she was horrible in that movie. Yeah, so those are the two casting choices.
All right, but let's go ahead. I just want to go ahead and mention what Secret Wars is about a little bit, just to give a little bit of background story. But pretty much, this is after the Kree Skull War, and the Earth superheroes like Iron Man, and then of course Mr. Fantastic, Namor, Black Bolt, Professor Xavier, and Doctor Strange. They joined together as a group, and they call themselves the Illuminati to secretly confront the Skrulls. They attack the Skrulls Empire and warn that that any future invasion attempts of Earth would mean further reprisals. However, they are all captured and intensely studied before escaping. So we already know that Iron Man is not going to be in it. So the one thing that I can say about the MCU is this: they know how to adapt the characters that they don't have anymore, and they make the other character become the characters that to replace that character with, and everything. So that's something that I have to say is some of the key elements that I like about the MCU. They always know how to adapt certain characters and put them in roles that is actually benefited for the plot. Here's the thing. When you look at this, okay, so we actually have Black Widow, which we know that she's not going to be Black Widow or anything like that. This is me speculating, but it'd be cool if she was like maybe, maybe she's the Invisible Woman, maybe she's Stu Storm, maybe it's somewhere like that. Maybe she's just playing a Skrull.
Spider Woman, maybe.
Yeah, that's actually another one I was thinking of, to be honest with you. So I have a lot of fun just speculating on who I think she might be able to play these who they might be playing as, and why some of them are actually under wraps. And even though I know production hasn't even begun on the set or anything like that, but it allows room to actually just speculate and have some breathing room to have some fun with it.
I have a question that I don't know if you guys will know the answer to, but does Disney have the rights to the Fantastic Four?
Yep.
Yes.
Because I know Sony did for a long time.
No, Fox actually had it.
Oh, Fox.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. Fox had it.
Yeah.
I think they announced at I think it was the Disney Expo, might have been a few months ago. They announced that John Watts is going to be the guy that directed the last couple Spider-Man movies, the one with Tom Holland, was going to be directing a Fantastic Four movie.
Okay, cool. I like that. Good.
Let me get more details on that.
Here's another thing, though, too. I'm wondering if maybe she might be Miss Marvel. That's also another key thing. One of them could be Miss Marvel.
There's so many comic book people.
Right, or Elektra, because here's the thing. With Elektra, she actually plays a role in Secret Invasions, though, because they are actually going to be going up against the Hand as well, just like they did in Daredevil and everything else. Or was that might have been what's that crappy show that they did? Iron Fist with the Hand.
That was also Daredevil.
Daredevil.
From that too.
Oh yeah, Daredevil. So yeah, I can definitely. Oh, go on.
Anyway.
But yeah, I just feel like there's room to actually speculate on this, because I know a little bit of the background of certain things that happens in this, but this actually also starts after the events of Civil War, and then this is also where Elektra is actually the leader of the ninja group of the Hand, and the Skrull named Pagan, after dying in battle with the new Avengers, Veronica Avengers claiming it will throw the Skrulls off balance, posing as agents of spy organization S.H.I.E.L.D. The Skrulls attempt to mine the mineral vibarium in the Savage Land in the Battle of the New Avengers before being killed. The Illuminati battle an imposter posing as Black Bolt and two new Super Skrulls posing all new powers.
Cool.
So essentially, the series is to follow a group of shape-shifting aliens who have been infiltrating Earth for years. Ben Adair has been set as the main villain. No idea what else. More like I said, nobody's really commented on else. Like I said, Mendelsohn's again playing Skull Talos as he did in Captain Marvel, and then of course we got Sam Jackson back in this. So, I don't know. Like I said, I think with the Secret Invasion, if you want to put somebody in there as post credits, you put Deadpool in there because Deadpool's taken on the Skrulls before. So, perfect way to set up Deadpool 3.
I would love to see Deadpool and
Me too.
That'd be hilarious.
I mean, they are working on the movie now. They got the Bob's Burgers writers, the 2 females, to direct this movie. And it's going to be R. They've already confirmed Deadpool's R. So, and I think that's one of the very few R-rated Marvel movies we're getting. But I mean, Reynolds will not be signing off on doing Deadpool 3 if Disney did not if he did not get the R rating. And I'm pretty sure Ryan Reynolds you know what? I'm taking my business elsewhere because you have 2 of the highest grossing R-rated movies of all time. One of the two of the they're numbers 2 and 5 on that ranking, and it's already got over $1 billion combined. Don't ruin it. But I don't know. They didn't specify that, so they still got a long ways to go with that. The show that got less time that we'll be getting probably by the end of this year is Hawkeye. So Jeremy Renner announced this week, might have been actually it was probably today, according to the article, that they finished production of the show. So that means hailing from the head writer Jonathan Ego, the series. So it says, as fans gear up for the finale of Disney Plus as The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Jeremy Renner was taking to Instagram to reveal one of the streaming platform's next Marvel MCU series, Hawkeye, has officially wrapped production. He posted on his Instagram. He says, "Last day for now. ... This is not goodbye, but I see you soon. Thank you, cast, crew, and Marvel." So the series centers on Renner's hero Archer and will introduce his fan favorite protege Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld. Thanks to previously set photos, it appears the series will be taking place 2 years after Renner's last outing in Endgame, and it's been speculated that it will adapt one of Hawkeye's prominent storylines from the comics, where Clint loses his hearing. Alongside Renner and Steinfeld, the cast for the series is set to include Vera Farmiga, Fry Fee, Black Widow's Florence Pugh, Tony Dalton, McLaurin, and newcomer Aquia Cox. There's also, I think, Miss Marvel supposed to be implemented in this thing as well, or shows coming out probably by this time soon. And is expected to debut in fall 2021 on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you guys talk about that for a little bit, and then after that, I'll give you my thoughts.
Go ahead, Rick.
I'm down. I love Marvel. They've done a really good thing with how they really thought about how they're playing out all these storylines. I feel like so to have it all tying together, and although I'm not a huge fan of being so many different shows about different characters, I feel like they should kind of keep it to just movies and stuff like that, but keep it and even then try and keep it more streamlined. I did feel for a while that it was a money grab kind of situation of just trying to profit off of the success of what the MCU was, and now that Endgame happened, it's oh well, we got to keep this going with more, making more stuff. I feel like they're not dumb, and they are gonna come up with something good out of all of this. I mean, they definitely planned it out a lot better than DC did with their movies. And as much as I love DC, I mean, Marvel just kicked it out of the park with how they how they brought apart the whole MCU. And so I'd watch them, especially if they're on Disney Plus, because then Like, I don't have cable, and so everything I have to stream everything. So if it's on Disney Plus and I can see it, like, I'll watch it. And most of those, like, I can watch with, my daughter because she's little and they're not, like, too violent. And she loves superheroes. Spider-Man's her favorite right now. So I'm down. I'm down for it. I'll watch it.
Tell her to avoid watching Great Value Captain America.
I actually haven't watched any of the new ones, WandaVision or Falcon yet, and Winter Soldier yet. So I gotta get on that. I've been crazy busy.
WandaVision is quirky, very quirky. It starts out that way, then it gets good. Takes a while to get used to. Falcon Winter Soldier, you're like right into it. And
it feels like a Tom Clancy TV series, to be honest with you, the way it starts.
I like Tom Clancy. So
I mean, Falcon Winter Soldier, I like that so much better because it does so much, and it does a lot of stuff that what's going on in the outside world, and they put it in this one show. It's perfect for this time period. And
cool.
The action sequences are awesome. But yeah, I know like Falcon's great. I'm excited for Hawkeye. Again, anything that like I want to know what the big picture here is. I want to know like all these shows because these are like because I think the show is perfect for Falcon and Winter Soldier because they're not big characters. They're big, but they're not the Iron Mans, Captain Americas. So to have I think for them and to have this show is great, so they can be a stepping point of how they're going to progress. I just want to know what's the big picture, like what's the next phase? Like I already know WandaVision setting up multiverse with Spider-Man stuff like that because they're confirmed to be in Spider-Man, and it's setting up the Doctor Strange sequel, which an article just came out from Elizabeth Olsen that plays Scarlet Witch talked about it's horror-esque. Like there's a lot of horror elements that are going to be involved with the Doctor Strange sequel. I'm kind of intrigued. I don't like horror, but I'm intrigued with Marvel, and Sam Raimi's going to do a great job. With Hawkeye, I'm excited to see how this is going to go, like how they're going to progress with this with the story. I think they said the character, Florence Pugh's character, her from the sister from Black Widow, she's going to be in the show. So obviously, there's going to be some correlation between Black Widow the movie and Hawkeye. So there's going to be that. That's what I'm intrigued on the connection. That's where the big story is. I want to know how is this going to connect to this current phase, and that's what I'm excited to see. I mean, I'm excited to see multiverse, but yeah, it's Hawkeye, and I'm intrigued on it.
Yeah, same here with me.
Oh. I'm on the same boat with you, as in I want to see how it all adds up. I don't want them to do these different shows and then just like fizzle out. I really want there to be a connection at the end of the rainbow.
I have a feeling though what Kevin Feige is doing, he's connecting all the dots. It's just that right now he's pretty much like God, right? He can see the bigger picture than what we can, right? Mm-hmm. It's like we only see a small picture, right? He sees everything. So I get to see him in his MCU office of like, you know what? I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here. And then I'm gonna let them guess and make it be a big, huge rabbit race. And
all with the string, all
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Conspiracy theory,
right.
I mean, WandaVision set up this. The thing with WandaVision, it's not a one-off. It sets up what's going to happen in the next, which I appreciate because I figured, this looks like it's going to be a one-off. But no, there's pieces involved in it that lead to bigger stuff.
Right.
And that's what I like. Falcon is going to lead to much bigger stuff. Like, these are not the only times we're going to be seeing these characters.
You know what, though? I could actually see now the final episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier airs on Friday. But for some reason, I wouldn't be surprised if we wouldn't see Jeremy Renner show up at the very end or a cameo appearance by him towards the end of it. To be honest with you, the way that it's basically military kind of style, ops kind of style stuff. And Hawkeye seems like he fits the bill for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but that's just me. But I want to see how Black Widow connects and how that ends. So maybe I have a quick question for you. When does Hawkeye's show air?
Fall.
Okay. Yeah. So that tells me another thing though. We have the Black Widow movie coming out this month.
July.
Well, July.
Yeah.
That's what I'm basically saying.
Yeah.
But in July of this year. So that tells me this. Maybe Black Widow and somehow or another, maybe Black Widow's still alive. Of course, we think that she's alive because of the Loki trailer. But what if
it's not her? It's like Madam Loki. It's a female version of Loki.
Damn it, Charlie.
I know. I was going to say it. My brother was telling me about it's not. It's unfortunate. It's not going to be her. It could be her, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's the female version of Loki, like a different character, but it's not Widow.
Okay, I'm just joking with you. But let's just say, for instance, if the possibility of her being alive, and then she just automatically into this realm this time, and then she just connects in with Jeremy Renner with Hawkeye. That's just me speculating, but that would actually be pretty neat.
I think that's why the sister's involved in it, because she wants to know where's my sister, and then Jeremy Renner is going to be like, I watched her die. Like, I mean, imagine if that scene in Endgame had played out differently. Like, I think they played that one perfectly. I was figuring, it took me a while to pick up, like, oh my god, they're like there, and that's why they have to. Yeah, I think, like I said, if it was Groot or if it was like the Rocket and Thor would easily chuck the raccoon down there. Like, I mean, that would how they ended up doing that had more meaning. It had more meaning to it, and that's what I was appreciating. Because if they had anybody else go down there, it wouldn't have been as powerful. But I hope she's still alive. I mean, I then again, I don't know. I mean, there's so much we don't know, but it would be great if she was in the Loki thing. But I don't think it's her.
Okay, so what else do we have now that you disappointed me?
Well, I mean, you kind of disappointed yourself. You had the high expectations. And same with the Charlize Theron not being in Furiosa. I knew she wasn't in it. You're like, no, she's in it. I'm like, no.
Your expectations fell as hard as Black Widow did.
Yep.
The next set is, I mean, nothing big from it. It's just that they're working on a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, which we've known for a while. They just hired 3 directors.
Love that movie. My daughter loves that movie. It's so good. Can't wait.
I love it.
Don't know when it's coming out. They just hired 3 directors. I think one of the directors worked on a lot of Nickelodeon stuff from the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Not the crappy movie version, the better TV version, and I think Legend of Korra, and then he worked on a bunch of other stuff. So, they just announced 3 directors, and you can find those online somewhere. 3 directors I'm not familiar with. All right, now we're getting into the highlight of the show, at least for DC's hope until they pull the carpet from under us like they've done before, that they start production on the Flash movie. They started production on that, and it's supposed to be out November 4th, 2022. They've begun in London. Andy Muschietti is directing it with his sister Barbara Muschietti, who's the producer, and then Michael Keaton's also confirmed the return as Batman in it, along with Ben Affleck.
I'm excited, to be honest with you.
I'm very excited for that.
And here's the thing. You and I are both geeked out over this, Rick. I'm going to let you go first, and then after that, I'll go.
All right, so Michael Keaton's the best Batman. I want to put my foot down right on there.
Christian Bale will kick his ass.
So my whole opinion is Michael Keaton's the best Batman. Christian Bale is the best Bruce Wayne. That's my take on it. But anyway, I love Michael Keaton. The 1989 Batman movie is still my favorite Batman movie after all these years. And I'm just really excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. I had always wanted him to come back. And I'm slightly disappointed and slightly not, because the way I wanted him to come back was I really wanted there to be like a Batman Beyond type movie or show or something like that, because I loved Batman Beyond when I was a kid, and I feel like he would have made a really, really great older Bruce Wayne. And I know that that's might still be a possibility with how the Flash is going, because I know it's going to go with the multiverse and everything, and that it has to do with time travel and all that kinds of stuff, because the Flash can do stuff like that. But honestly, I'm really excited, and I think this is also for 2022, right? Is what it's supposed to come out.
November 4th.
Yep.
So we're gonna have three. I'm a little, so as happy as I am about Michael Keaton coming back, I'm also like, there's 3 Batman actors now, and that's a little. We got Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, and Robert Pattinson, and I'm a little bit like, what are you doing, man? Like, I know there's the multiverse, but why are you doing it this way? Unless at some point they're all gonna merge, and I don't know if that's what their plan is.
From what I know, though, Rick, is this like, think of picking up a new comic book and it doesn't connect with anything else.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's and everything too. I know that they said that Robert Pattinson's going to be what? Earth what?
Earth 2, I think.
Earth 2.
Yeah,
it's going to be like Earth 2.
One, I think.
So I'm looking at it from this angle, though. Picking it up from a different angle where you read a different comic book. It takes place on a different Earth. It doesn't connect with anything. So think of the Robert Pattinson one as you picking up a comic book and just reading it with no kind of continuity with the DCU universe.
And I totally get that, and and that's how I am expecting it to go. But I feel like that's still like why are you having 3 different actors playing 3 different Batmen coming out
right.
in such a short amount of time? I just feel like you're just beating the crap out of that character, and I love Batman. I'll see,
Me too.
see all those movies. I'm telling you right now, like they're gonna get their money from me. But like I still enjoy it. It's like, it is what it is. I'll see him. I'm excited for him. I'm really happy to see Michael Keaton back, like I said. But and I like the way I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he's a really good Batman, and we've seen Michael Keaton in 2 Batman movies previously also. It was good. I'm excited to see how Robert Pattinson comes up, because he's so known for Twilight, and when you say Robert Pattinson, you instantly are like, oh, Edward or whatever his name is from Twilight.
Right.
But he's been in a lot of other things where he is completely different from that character. And I think people aren't taking him seriously because of that. Like in the White House, he is crazy in the White House. If you haven't seen that movie, it's very, very weird. But like totally, completely different from sparkly vampires. So I'm excited for it.
And you see, I liked him in The Devil All the Time, though, on Netflix. That was a really good Robert Pattinson movie too. He definitely played a creepy preacher guy, but back to Keaton and everything. I've been wanting him to come back since Batman Returns.
Yeah.
And, I have a feeling this is going to be like our Batman Frank Miller version of The Dark Knight Returns, where he's older, he's gritty, he's older. I could just see that. He's just tired of people's shit. I could just see that, where he's just tired of everything. Don't get me wrong, we saw that in the Ben Affleck version and everything, but I would like to see the aftermath of everything of Batman fighting since the 1980s, and then the toll that it on his body that has actually been taken over from 2021 or whatever realm, or how many years that they're actually going to put Michael Keaton in and everything, and that's when Barry Allen shows up. That's what I like to see, and it's just I'd like to see. I would love to see that. Also, too, I've been like we said before, Michael Keaton is one of my favorite all-time Batman and everything. As a matter of fact, that was like the very first movie I saw in theaters was the 1989 Batman movie and everything. And I remember as a little kid just being geeked out of my fucking mind because of the fact that I got to see Batman on the big screen and everything for the very first time. As a matter of fact, I even bought the comic book that came out into the movie theaters based off of the movie and everything. That's how much of a diehard fan I was and still am. But, aside from that, I like the fact that he's coming back. It makes me geeked out. I still say that I'm in agreement with you with the whole Bruce Wayne with him being with Christian Bale being the best Bruce Wayne, but Michael Keaton was the best Batman. And I also like Ben Affleck's version. I like all three actors, the way they brought it with Christian Bale and everything else though too. But iconically, Michael Keaton is one of my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, Adam West is great too, but totally different time.
Right. Definitely.
But I'm more excited for the Flash movie than I am the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. It's just like, do we really need another one? Like, honestly, I mean, I don't really want to see him as Batman. I think there's some cast members that are good, but there's some really bad choices. Like, getting Zoe Kravitz to play Catwoman. Ew. Like, no. Like, I think she's not that great of it for me. Like, I've seen stuff she's in. She's not good. Like, she's not that great. I don't think she's great as Catwoman. We got a great one in Hannah Hathaway. She was great as Catwoman in the Dark Knight ones, and it's just like we need to stop being the stick with Batman. You tried it with the Gotham series, that didn't work out. Like, we don't really need. And then Matt Reeves, sure, he's directing it, but the last 2 8 movies were just garbage. Like, I don't know. This just a lot to me. Like, Robert Pattinson will always be known as Sparkles from like Twilight, but it's like, the only I liked him in Harry Potter because he died in the Goblet of Fire. Duggery, he died. It's great. He didn't. I liked him in Tenet because he didn't piss me off. He didn't piss me off in Tenet, so he was okay. I didn't care for him in The Devil all the time. I mean, he was just creepy, and he was just he's like, and his accent kind of like threw me off. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? I'd rather watch Matt Damon with a man bun or a ponytail in the horrible Great Wall movie again than I watch Robert Pattinson act. Like, come on. Like, no, I mean, I think I'll watch the new Batman movie. Would I spend money to see it? No. I'll probably wait for it to get on HBO Max. It doesn't cost me anything. Like, I'm more excited for The Flash, which I've seen enough of the TV show, so I'm intrigued on how he ruins the timeline in this one than I am the new Batman movie. Like, for me, it's just enough with the Batmans. Christian Bale was great. Ben Affleck was great. Why do we need to keep casting people for Batman? Come on, Warner Brothers, get your head out of your ass and just stick with somebody. Seriously, it's not hard. A monkey could do your job. I could do your job better than you can. Come on, Warner Brothers. We don't need more Batman movies. We need stick with one guy and that.
It is like that. Warner Brothers is not going to be our sponsor.
Warner Brothers is never going to be our sponsor.
Right.
Warner Brothers is never going to be our sponsor until we had that rant video of them not restoring the Snyderverse.
Right.
I mean, like, Disney's not going to be one of our sponsors for that because they make stupid ass decisions. Like, I mean, like I said, The Flash I think is going to be good because you got two better Batmans, and then I'm like Earth 2. Like, I mean, that's coming out in March. Okay, nothing else is coming out against it, and that movie keeps getting delayed like crazy. Like come out or just get away. So we don't like I said, people are like, oh, he's going to beat up some people. So he's gonna have a struggling time beating up somebody like he did in Twilight. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just like we don't need too many Batmans. We got like I said. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna. Warner Brothers doesn't even have a plan. They're just throwing something at the doorboard and like, oh, let's see if this sticks. I don't know. I'm excited for The Flash though. I think that might. I mean, I like the elements that he did in the Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I mean, I thought that was funny. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued on it. But I think I'm more excited for that than I am the new piece of shit Batman movie.
I like how they did the Flash in the Snyder version of Justice League a lot because I love how they do his powers, man, with all like the lightning and electricity coming off him whenever he runs. Like every time he started doing that, I was like, oh, that's so cool, and so I'm excited to see that. But I like his character. He's just that awkward, nerdy dude, and he's just a fun character that I really enjoyed. That I like that they did a lot more backstory than when it first came out with all the different characters, including Barry, and yeah, I'm excited for that Flash movie and for multiple reasons, including
Flashpoint.
like it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
All right. So, do we have anything else, or is that
No, that was it. pretty
okay?
much.
Okay. So, I just want to say thanks, Rick, for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on and everything. I enjoyed having I also enjoyed having Michelle on as well.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to set.
my wife
What's
is
that?
pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to set something up for the Martian review with her, and then
Definitely.
I'd like to actually have you on when we do our Tarantino review for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right.
Love
So
We'll have 4 of us on for that one, John.
okay, that's fine with me. More the merrier. You know.
Because like Sean will be with us because
Okay.
we're doing directors. So
Right. So, with that being said, guys, that's gonna do it for the show for tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Another thing too is if you want to go on ahead, donate to the show. How do you do that? Just go ahead and head over to www.gofundme.com/movie lovers podcast. Also, too, if you guys want to go ahead and go for all your inhuman needs and wants and pleasures, you just head over to www.movieloversunite.com. We post movie news, movie reviews, and movie news for everybody, and also too TV movie news and TV reviews over there. Another thing too is if you guys want to, you also go on ahead, find this on the audio only podcast of this show. You get many episodes over there, and a matter of fact, you can go on ahead and subscribe, and then also too go on ahead and rate us on Apple Podcasts as well. Let us know how we're doing over here at Movie Lovers Unite. Another thing too that I want to mention is the fact that we're going to do our Falcon and Winter Soldier after show at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time on Friday. And then Saturday, we're actually doing our Mortal Kombat review. And I can't wait to see that. That's going to be amazing. I'm hoping it's amazing. But it's going to be at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, and 6 o'clock Pacific Time PM on the Movie Lovers Unite YouTube channel. Of course, you guys can go on ahead.
you got your show on the one where you're doing that. You and Rosie are doing a review of the White Boy documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, Rossi McCree will be on the show tomorrow night doing a White Boy Rick documentary at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific Time. Go ahead, hit us up over there for that. Also, too, guys, go ahead, like and subscribe to this episode. Share this with everybody. And also, too, go ahead and follow me at Movie Lovers Unit on Twitter if you want to as well. Go ahead and follow me over at Movie Lovers Unit on Stereo. And then also, too, we're under Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Instagram and also on Pinterest as well. So those are all the places that you can find us at. Of course, you can go on ahead and email me at movieloversunite@gmail.com. All right. Always until next time, guys. It's been real. It's been fun. Can't wait to do this again. Bye-bye.